Hey guys, Barbara here. I am very excited today. This is what I'm going to be showing you guys how to make. Authentic, perfect pound cake. You're watching the Bear Pantry Show. And guess what? My mom didn't turn her back. This mom, show me her little thing. That's when she's putting in ingredients in anything she's making. That's how she does this thing. Corn tortilla, that's already heated up. You could dip it in there and just take a bite. What Megan's doing.
You're watching the Bear Pantry Show.
So the thing about pound cake, when I was doing my research, I found out a whole lot. The reason that it's called pound cake is because everything was supposed to be a pound of sugar, a pound of flour, a pound of eggs. And Joe was like, well, how do you get a pound of eggs? Well, it's 5 or 6 eggs. I guess somebody weighed it or something at some point. I don't know. But everything has to come to room temperature. So it took me all day. So if you guys want to do this, just set it out like hours before you get ready to do the pound cake, okay? So it's very few ingredients. I'm not going to use salt in mine, but it's like a half a teaspoon of salt that you would add because my butter that I get is always the salted one. I don't like the unsalted butter, so I get the salted butter. We're gonna use this whole block. This is a whole pound or 4 sticks, okay? See, it has the measurements here, and it is room temperature right now. You don't want it to melt to liquid, but you want it to be room temperature, all right? So let's quickly run through the rest of the ingredients that we're gonna need to make our beautiful pound cake. All right, so for the flour, it's 2 3/4 cups, and I sifted it once. 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and if you're not using salted butter, half a teaspoon of salt would be here. Over here, we have 6 eggs, 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and it's the pure kind. Let me show you guys. See right here? This was given to the show by Don and Marie Savino. So I'm calling them sponsors. Take a look at my sponsor board over there. I'm going to be talking about that in depth in the next video tomorrow. But these are sponsors to the show, okay? And I'll tell you how you can be a sponsor. Now here, my sugar. So the sugar is 1 3/4 cup. And then the big old block of butter. And that's it. This one will not use any kind of like dairy, like except for the butter, of course. No sour cream, no cream cheese, no milk, no nothing. So let's dive right in. So first thing we want to do is get our room temp butter into the sugar. And then we're gonna mix with our hand mixer. I don't use my KitchenAid anymore for the show because it's noisy, it's old, it's long in the tooth. My Uncle Les gave it to me when Jory was a baby, and Jory's 25 now, so I've had it 25 years. It probably needs to be greased or something, but I opted out of not using it anymore anyways because I do realize a lot of people can't afford one of those machines. I mean, I know I can't afford it. And I don't want you to feel like you can't do the item just because you don't have that. You can buy this hand mixer like this for $15 at Walmart, Target, Amazon, pick one. So let's beat the sugar and the butter until it becomes very light and creamy. You guys, I got Joe to come in and help me crack all the eggs. Isn't that cool? Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. And when we're recording the show, we're actually recording on our wedding anniversary, but we're going to go to dinner later, but we're going to have this cake when we come back home, okay? So let me continue beating. One advice that I can give you guys about making any type of cake batter is to always make sure you scrape down the sides of the bowl because stuff will cling to the sides and you want to make sure everything is well incorporated into the batter. So I've added the vanilla extract and now I'm just going to go ahead and add these eggs one at a time, or sometimes they'll be 2 at a time depending on if they cracked on me or not. If the yolk's cracked, I mean, because sometimes I don't know where an egg ends from where another egg begins, alright? So I'm just going to make sure I add them a little bit at a time so I can make this batter all light and airy, and the eggs will do that, alright? So keep on scraping as you go along and your cake will come out perfect if you do it like I'm showing you right here. So it's looking creamy, it's getting fluffy, and yeah, I'm just going to continue doing this until we get to the dry ingredients. Alright guys, so we're done beating the butter, sugar, and the eggs. This cake kind of reminds me of my Belizean light cake, except we make that with evaporated milk, you know? So what we're gonna do right now, mix in the dry. This is the baking powder. And remember, we add salt if you're not using salty butter, okay? I'm using salted butter. Now I've seen people like throw the whole thing in here and give it a go. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna put a little bit in first. And one of my viewers just taught me on one of the last videos that I did, that when you're gonna add in dry ingredients, kind of fold it in first with your spatula, so that when you put this on, it doesn't go flying everywhere like one of the cakes that I made, the last cake that I made. We had fun with that though, but I don't want that to happen again. So thank you, whoever you are that helped me out with that little bit of info. Thank you so much. Now let me go ahead and blend with my hand mixer, and this is what we're gonna do. Just add all the dry and blend. And then this cake is pretty much gonna be ready for the pan. Oh, the pan is a bundt cake pan that has to be greased and floured. So I have it greased already, but not floured. So let me do this first. Oh, see? That viewer was so smart. I'm telling you that, I thank you. You guys know I'm open to suggestions, but if you like come at me with razor blades and lemon juice, then I shut down. But you guys are so cool. So let me work this in. Now, I have a confession to make. This is the first time I'm making this kind of pound cake, the authentic kind. I've made pound cake. I can't say it, pound cake. I've made pound cake at the site already, and it was a 7-Up pound cake, and that was fantastic. And in the future, I'll make something with something sparkling again. Like I've seen one where it's Moscato. I've seen when they're like 5 flavors, 7 flavors. It all has to do with the extracts. This is 1 flavor, 1 extract. So let me blend this, and then the last amount, and then we're ready for the pan, okay? Let me show you how thick this is, see? It is super thick. And this is the way it's supposed to look. So let me get my pan ready. I'm just kind of going through it to make sure I don't have any dry spots with the flour, okay? And I'm going to clean off the feet of my cake thingy really well because I need all that batter. Yeah, guys. Did you guys notice how greased it is? Get every nook and cranny because pound cake likes to stick. All right? So just so you know, Joe is out there choking on peanut shells or the red, what do you call the red skin? It's the skin, huh? Mm-hmm. It's the skin, right? He's in the living room choking on peanut skin because he's not allowed to cough when I'm recording. He goes, you're gonna let people choke to death. I'm like, well, go in the room and do that. Don't do that out here. I'm taping a show, people. If you guys would only know how strict I am when I'm doing the show. They're not allowed to sit on the computer chair and make it go creak, creak, creak. And oh my goodness, only Josh. Did you guys hear him down the hallway choking? Are you okay, my love? Are you okay? I'm not that harsh. You could choke. Okay. You want to get everything here, okay? Woo, I can't wait for this cake. And then tap it. Ooh la. Now let's get our thick batter. How are we going to spoon this in here? Joshua is not going to stay here all day and wait for me to do this. You could almost probably put this through a piping bag. You guys get the idea, right? Go around and around. Get it all in there. And the oven is preheating to 350. Well, it's ready. It's at 350. Some people bake their pound cakes at 325, but this one is so dense because we didn't use any milk or cream or anything that this needs to be at 350, all right? Let me just smooth it out as best as I can. And then I'm going to put it into the oven, and it's going to go for, I don't know. Yes, we'll see. We'll go double check that. So how does it look, Josh? It looks even?
Mm-hmm.
All right. It is so thick, it's unreal. Right in the middle. I'd like to give a warm welcome to all my brand new subscribers. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel and subscribing. Your support means the world to me. Go ahead and check out the playlists I've created for you so you can get caught up on what you've been missing. I had to leave to go run an errand right in the middle of baking this cake. So I asked the kids to take care of it for me, and I told them to insert a knife. If it comes out dirty, put it back in for a few more minutes. And they did. It came out dirty, so they put it back in for 13 more minutes. So the cake went for a total of 1 hour and 10 minutes. And see, the knife is clean. You want to go to the bottom, okay? And that's how you know it's done. Now let's allow it to cool down. All right, guys, so it's still warm, but enough that I can touch. And look at what I'm doing. Just greasing this with a little bit of butter because I don't want it to stick. I've released from the sides with a knife, and voila, it comes out real easy. What I'm gonna do is cut it because I want to show you what it looks like inside, but in a little bit I will make some type of a glaze to go on top. And if I do anything other than something with icing sugar and milk and extract and stuff, I'll let you guys know. But I want to cut this just so we can see how the inside look. Alright guys, let me cut. I can't wait to decorate this. I have to see what the inside looks like. Ooh, it's still warm. Are we ready? Are we ready? Ooh la la. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm going to allow it to continue to cool, and then we'll figure out the glaze, alright? So I've changed my outfit because Joe and I just came back from a date to the Red Lobster. Thank you, Cousin Cindy and Jory. And here's the cake. Voila, beautiful. And I'm going to make a glaze that's different. It's going to be like a brown sugar caramel glaze. I'm going to use my little Tramontina stove. And we're going to start off with a can of sweetened condensed. And any brand will do. There's still some more in there. I didn't put on the stove yet. Okay? Brown sugar. This is all it's going to take, along with some butter towards the end. So let me get a wooden spoon and plug this in. I have the little stove set to 355. I want this to stay steady. And we just want this to start bubbling. Let me leave it alone. See how it's bubbling there, guys? I don't want it to burn on this little stove, so I'm going to shut this off. A little dash of butter, like a couple tablespoons. So you wanted to burn in my little pot, though. Okay, remember, guys, don't burn yours. It's just because I use that little stove, but still looks good. And just dress it as little or as much as you want. We have a full house right here with Jada, Jory, and Josh. Jory is running camera. Thank you, Jory. And then Wednesday's crying like a baby because she wants to see what I'm doing. Cool, right, guys? As soon as I get this all dressed up, I'm going to taste. Look at this mess we made here, guys. But we really had to douse it. This goes well with ice cream also. And no, I'm not going to eat this whole big piece, but why is it your problem? Show Jada waiting. So that was pretty simple, right? Everything was a pound. I didn't know that that's why they call pound cakes pound cakes. You learn something new every day, right? I really love this recipe. This is gonna make the rounds in my repertoire as we continue because Joe loves pound cakes and he likes it without any glaze or anything on top. And then he can eat it with coffee, you know, stuff like that. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching the show, for liking for commenting, and for subscribing. I want to ask you guys to stay tuned for tomorrow, because tomorrow's Thursday, and I know I told you guys you wouldn't see me after today until the new year, but I can't stay away. I miss you guys already. So tomorrow I'm going to be presenting this angel food cake. You're going to be shocked at how simple it is to make. I promise you. All right. So stay tuned for tomorrow. And I'm going to upload another video probably on Friday. Yeah. I miss you guys already. Thanks, guys. I love you. Hey guys, if you like what you see here, you may like my vlog channel. Head on over to youtube.com/BabsBearTalk to get caught up on what's going on behind the scenes of the cooking channel, what's coming up next, and what's going on in my daily life.